But nothing is more powerful than how you show up and the energy you give to the people around you, because they'll say, man, I want some of that.
At some point, all of the networks have come calling.
Joining me now is former Baltimore police officer and former chief of staff to the Department of Justice Community Policing Services, Rob Weinhold.
What to do?
You have to be concerned about the precedent that's being set.
How to act?
Well, I think they did wait too long, and I think the response was tepid at best.
I think there's a sense of shock, disbelief.
Who to listen to when crisis hits.
I'm Rob Weinhold, founder of Fallston Group. I've spent my career helping people navigate the toughest days of their lives. I started my career as a police officer, working the streets in the city of Baltimore, and was ultimately promoted and became a member of the command staff. After my time in Baltimore, I was recruited to the United States Department of Justice, where I helped create national policy and served as chief of staff. After my time in public service, I continued my career by advising some of the world's most prominent people. These days I get called from distressed leaders. They're probably facing the worst moments of their lives, and they want me to help them maintain control and weather the storm. Crisis leadership, it's what we do. My book, The Art of Crisis Leadership, went to #1 on Amazon in the Crisis Leadership and PR categories, and top 100 in the prestigious leadership category. I'm a practitioner working in the trenches with real leaders. Whether guiding high-performing organizations, crisis managing, training, or helping someone turn their life around, we help people during life's most difficult times. It's baked into our DNA. We know how to turn short-term adversity into long-term advantage. It's so rewarding to share my experiences with real-life stories that will absolutely make people think, feel, and act differently. Which one are you? Are you the drag on the bottom line? Or do you breathe life into the party and make everyone around you better? Because that's what you need to be as a leader. If you cannot communicate effectively, you will never be able to articulate the position that you need to, bring people toward action, and be the leader that you want to be. You know what? Anyone with an internet connection and a recording device can wreak havoc on your brand. And it does not need to be justified, because crises cost time, money, customers, careers, and in the worst case of scenarios, freedom and lives. And crisis is a growth opportunity. It's counterintuitive, but it's a growth opportunity. And by the way, you don't need to go find it, it will find you. So Warren Buffett has a quote, takes 20 years to build a reputation, 5 minutes to ruin it. And if you think about that, you'll do things differently. I tailor my keynotes to serve the audience. Whether engaging with public, private, or nonprofit organizations, the red thread is authenticity and practicality. I want those listening to show up in the world just a little bit differently after our time together. And based on my experience, I firmly believe they will leave wanting more. And it's really, really hard to get your integrity back once you've lost it. In every single interaction you have, trust is earned, it's not given, certainly not given by title. But the beauty is when you can determine who you're around, and in my case, who I work with, what they're motivated by, you now understand points of leverage. And in my business, it's about finding points of leverage to turn short-term adversity into long-term advantage. The most effective leadership teams I work with are predictive and see the whole room. They get ready to meet the moment in the most vulnerable of ways. We know how to get to root causes and brutal truths. And research shows that the very best leaders in the world have something that the others don't, and it's empathy. Can you put yourself in someone else's shoes? Do you provide a safe environment for them so they can put their hand up and say, I was wrong, but here's what I learned. So optimism isn't walking around like the sun is shining all the time. Optimism is finding a way to get it done. If you don't tell your story, someone else will. And when someone else tells your story, it certainly won't be the story you want told. I'm Rob Weinhold with the Fallston Group.